Morning guys, we've left the caravan and it's a nice sunny day, so there's no canals for us today. We've brought the boys and we're doing a little walk through that lot, which is Mere Sands Woods. We've been here loads of times and it's beautiful, especially this time of year when the sun's out. There it is. You can feel a definite temperature drop when you walk in because you're all in the shade of the trees now. Have a little look around. I think we're going to go left today. We're doing it this way because we normally walk from the car park, but Fudge, which is this one, is getting on. He's 13 now and walking's, well, it's not hard for him, as you can see he's tootling along quite happily, but he can't walk for the amount of times he used to. So we're splitting the walk in half. Start at the bridge, do half the woods, stop at the cafe, a cup of tea and a rest. That was a woodpecker, I don't know if you heard that or not. And then once Fudge is rested, we can carry on and do the second half. Morning. There's definitely a woodpecker about. If you suffer with your mental health or any kind of mental ailment, or even physical, getting out and about, not just here, but anywhere close to you, out in the countryside, out away from the towns and the cities, away from the smog and the smell. Get out to a place like this, breathe in the air, makes you feel so much better. And on a nice day like this, even in the winter, it's lovely here in the winter. With snow on the ground, ice up in the trees, everywhere white. I've never yet brought my camera out in the winter, but I think I might do one day. And there's all little paths, and there's supposed to be deers in this wood. But I have to admit to have never seen one, although I have seen hoof prints, which I believe are from a deer. This farmer seems to be growing bin bags. He's doing a good job as well. I have no idea what these trees are. I know there's some oak trees. I think there's some sycamore. This one's an oak. There's also pine trees of some form, which is all the way up there. But the soil around here in this area is very sandy, so it's ideal for pine trees. And there's the usual assortment of birds and blue tits, great tits. There's some oyster catchers if you get over by the lake. as you heard before, well I hope you heard, woodpeckers. And as I said before, there's even some deer, which this looks like the ideal place for a deer, but I mean, for all I know, there could be one looking at me right now. Wouldn't have a clue. Prior to its life as a wood and a nature reserve, this used to be, I believe, a quarry, which was, when it went out of business, it was taken over and turned into what we have now. But before that, a couple of 100 years before that, this entire area, stretching for miles, used to be a lake. In fact, I think it was the biggest lake in England, if not the UK. I don't think it was very deep, but it was big. And it was only back in the, I think, the mid-1700s, when draining first started, to reclaim the land for farming, which has left us all places like this. There's very sandy areas like we're in now, and then very fertile areas like that. Come on, guys. Nice little place to sit, have a rest. If you've brought a flask, a nice cup of tea or coffee, your beverage of choice. I think if it's in a flask, it has to be coffee. Tea goes funny in a flask. Be a nice place for a picnic. Bring your butties out. Nice cheese and tomato, or cheese and ham. Nice cup of coffee. Well, I've brought neither of those things today. It's not a massive walk, and as I said earlier, especially if you're physically impaired and maybe a wheelchair, it is doable. The pathways are clear. They're compacted ground, so especially in this weather, it's dry and easily accessible, especially if you've got someone behind you pushing, giving you a helping hand. Well, do it, come on down. The car park, I think, is £4 now for the day. You can stay as long as you want. You've got access to all the woods, the visitor centre, the cafe, the shop, and it's just a really pleasant few hours out. And these purple flowers in the background, or the midground, are, I believe, rhododendrons. I hope I said that right. If not, I'm sure someone will correct me. I don't know what these white ones are. I should really learn about these things. I'm out and about so often. I should know what they are. It's one of the new hides that's recently been built. You can't see it from there, but it's overlooking the lake, or one of the lakes anyway. Which I think, and I stand to be corrected on this, is part of the quarry that wasn't really filled in, it was just filled with water and been turned into the nature reserve. You can hear the geese. I can see the geese through the trees on the lake, having a nice swim. I'm getting surrounded by butterflies. Right, the ruffed hide.
Manchester, Lancashire.
This is run by, I think, I'll find out for sure later, the Lancashire Wildlife Trust. And it has a sister site over sort of Preston way, and I think that's called Brockholes. So if you get a parking pass for the year for here, you also get access to the car park in Brockholes, but there's no dogs allowed in that one. Whereas here at Mere Sands, you can bring your little furry friends. There's butterflies everywhere. There used to be, I say used to because we haven't been here for a while, a little bit further up this path, a feeding station. And if you stood there quiet enough, for long enough, you'd get all the birds coming to sit on the tables. And they were all sort of waist height tables, so they were easy to see. And you had all kinds. I mean, I don't profess to know what they are. I know a couple. But I really should attempt to learn more about them, especially if I'm talking about them. I am not very knowledgeable about bird life. I wish I was. I was just talking to Joanne, saying, I'd love to be able to, like, if you listen, the bird song, I'd love to be able to go, oh, that's it, such and such a bird. But I can't, and it annoys me. So I think one day I'm going to have to learn. Like that. I've no idea what that was. But it's up in that bush there. Well, it was. Typical, as soon as you get the camera on them, they fly away. It's only little, but had a big sound for a little bird. We keep threatening to bring a friend of ours down here with their dogs, but we haven't done it yet. They'd like this. I think everyone would like this. I can't see why anybody wouldn't like a walk around, especially in these conditions. It's warm, sunny, it's really, really pleasant. There's a lot of planes in the air today. You're taking advantage of the good weather. Nice little handmade bench. There's quite a few of those around, which the volunteers of the woods make for people like me who are getting old and need a rest. Hear the geese in the background, which is, it's over that way, beyond the trees. It's the lake that we were just looking at. I've no idea what type of geese. Just geese. One thing I'm not is David Attenborough. There's the lake. I don't profess to know what I'm talking about, and half the time, not half the time, all the time, I just babble. Open the mouth and words come out. Sometimes they're the right words, and sometimes they're not. But it's not about being knowledgeable. It really isn't. You don't have to know what you're looking at to enjoy it. Just get yourselves down to your nearest park or nature reserve or woods. Have a walk. See what's there. Just enjoy being in nature. You don't have to know what it is. You don't have to pretend to know what it is. And I should know. I have absolutely no idea what 99.99% of this stuff is. All this stuff. It's, I don't know, it's green growy stuff. And some of the green growy stuff have flowers on them. That is about the sum total of my knowledge. So if anybody sees anything that you think I should know what it is, then please drop a note down in the comments, because I would be very happy to read what you've got to say. Is that a blue tip? I think it is. Let's have little ones in the box. It's that time of year. And if you can hear a lot of barking, it's because just the other side of that fence that you can see through the trees, there is a kennel and cattery. This looks like something worth exploring. Oh, what a brilliant view. I don't know what the pontoons are for, unless it's just for the lake dwelling birds, give them somewhere to stay. Just carry on up this path a little bit and we get to the visitor centre, cafe and a nice cup of tea. And poor Fudgy is flagging. So is Charlie a little bit. The heat doesn't help, it is quite warm. Right, we're just about getting into the car park I mentioned at the start of the vlog. Little map. Might be an ideal time to pause so you can look at the map. And there's the visitor centre. There are plenty of spaces, but if you ever come and the car park's full, There is an overflow car park just to the right of that van. So there's plenty of spaces for everyone. Come on, you two, let's go. Charlie Fudge, come on, let's go. Let's go, come on. We're going over the bridge. Come on. We're going to find you a nice shady spot, if we can. A table under the tree, maybe. We'll find you some water. And you can rest your little paws. It's a wildlife sightings board.
There's somebody seen a red squirrel.
Yeah?
Yeah, damselflies.
Yeah, I've seen damselflies, chiff-chaffs, oyster catcher, roe deer, red squirrel. Excellent. And a defib. Come on, boys, let's go.
Come on, stop.
This is currently the view I've got from my little bench outside the cafe while I'm having my nice cold drink. And it's not that expensive, no more than any other place you'd think of. And you've got loads of seating. They do hot food if you're interested. And they've got the shop, which Joanne's just got to have a nose round. This is the view over the former quarry at the back of the visitor centre with the seating area. And just through that gate is the overflow car park I mentioned earlier.
Because it's disabled, you then can't park there.
Now we're going to finish the walk, which it's actually a little less. We were just having a look at the map. It's a little less than halfway. So the first half was actually more like 3/4. Come on, Fudgy. Fudgy's knackered. Well, he is 13. He's getting on. What they could do with really, and this is just a personal opinion, is put some paths in here, heading off that way. Open the space up a bit more. There's only a couple of paths really. There's this one that goes the entire circumference of the woods. And there's another one that leads off from the visitor centre. Cuts down sort of that kind of way and does eventually join up with this path. But there's a lot of the interior of the woods that you can't get to, which is a shame. Although I suppose you've got to think about the animals and the birds, especially the ground nesting birds. But it's still a shame, as I said, just my opinion. It would be nice if you could walk down towards the lake, other than being in a hide. But I suppose it's a nature reserve. So you've got to be careful when it comes to disturbing or not disturbing the wildlife. I would like to see a deer though. Someone's seen them. Maybe you're going to come early in the morning or in the evening to see them. That path cuts you right across to the path I was just talking about that brings you around the side of the lake. And there's a nice little platform down there that you can get onto. I think they call it a viewing platform. But this is really nice. I could walk around here every day, but being one of the waged slaves, being in work 5 days a week, it's not possible, which is a shame, because it is beautiful. And do you know what? I don't even care about the weather. If it's raining, I'll put a coat on and a hat. Although, like so today, I could have done without the jacket. But it was a little chilly this morning. But not cold, just chilly. So I put a coat on. And now I'm regretting it. You've just got to close your eyes and listen to the noise and appreciate the beauty of nature. Into the deepest, darkest part of the woods. We're right on the edge of the farmer's fields, which are just there. Little birds all around and I have no idea what they are. Wonder if there's a deer in there somewhere. Could be watching us right now. As I was saying earlier, these paths are ideal for those of us who are, shall we say, a little less able on our feet, or even wheelchairs, prams, pushchairs. There's no problems all the way round. The paths are great, they're well looked after. Almost back to the bridge where we started. Just around this little corner. Pity there's not a cricket game on. We could have stopped and watched the game. Rufford Cricket Club. Let's have a little nose. Very pretty. And there's the bridge. don't really know what this is unless it's some kind of land drain. But the water's very clear. That is the end of our walk. Just along this path, and then it's back to the car. And on the camera, that looks like snow, but I can assure you it isn't. It's some kind of polythene bagging, probably acting like a greenhouse effect to stimulate the growth of the crops. Right guys, this is, as I said before, the halfway point of our walk, even though you're going to be seeing this at the end of today's vlog. So if that's confusing, I'm sorry. But this has been Mere Sands Woods, and it's not far from Rufford, which is outside Southport, Ormskirk, Preston, that kind of area, so easy to get to. So if you've enjoyed the vlog and you haven't already, then please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And if you hit the little bell, then YouTube will let you know every time I post a new vlog. Okay? See you later.